Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday series. I'm your host, John Aniri, and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. Today is not motivation. We're not going to be saying anything motivation. So today we're going to be having like a factual topic, something that I'm going to be educating you on. It's a very interesting topic. It's something that I do. Like I go home and I research about just different topics and to just know about it is a hobby I do. So I want to share it with you guys. Our topic today is neuroplasticity. I don't know if you have heard it before, but we're going to be talking about that today. Neuroplasticity is something that is very, very important that if you don't understand, you cannot function. If like you don't have it, sorry, if you don't have it, sorry, you cannot function. Everybody has neuroplasticity, and I'm going to be explaining that today. So, first of all, I want you to know that this is relating to the organ called the brain, and we all know what the brain is. We all have a brain. If you don't have a brain, you will not be seeing this video you are watching right now. So, what is neuroplasticity? Before I get to that, I want to explain something to you. In the 1900s, scientists thought that that brain that you are born with is how it's going to be for the rest of your life till you die. Like the brain that is in your head when you are born is how it will be. But 4 years ago, I think during the pandemic, researches were made that your brain continues to modify itself as you grow. So that's what leads us to our topic today, neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? It is the brain's ability to like modify or relate to external stimuli. Is the brain's ability to modify itself in response to like external things, like your brain's ability to know something or to remember something. Those things, that is what is called neuroplasticity. Anything that has to do with like your external stimuli, like I'm going to be explaining that now. When you come to a new environment and you see that okay, you are not used to the place, you forget some places. Sometimes you even forget the road to your house. You don't know some places, but as you keep on staying there 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, you get used to the place. That's literally what neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to like modify any kind of external environment. So neuroplasticity is best harnessed as a teenager from 6 years to 25 years. That's the best time to harness neuroplasticity. It means that your brain is very, very functional at that period. Your brain is an organ, is a muscle, and if you don't work on it, it will not be able to grow. Now let me explain something to you. When you perform a particular activity or when you are doing something, your brain fires millions of neurons fire at the same time, and these neurons form what they call neural networks. These networks lead to pathways. These pathways are what helps you to like remember that particular activity that you're doing. That's why if you are learning a skill or you're learning a sport or you're doing something new, it's difficult at the initial stage, but then with time it gets easier. Why? Is because your brain has different neural networks for any activity you are doing, whether it's sleeping, eating, walking, whatever that you are doing. Your brain has a neural network for it. So to form one network, it has to take consistency. That's why you are good at walking, a baby is not good at walking yet, because the neural network is not like perfectly formed. So it's just the same thing. When you're doing a particular activity, your brain forms a neural network, and then that is where you can remember anything you are doing. And this neural networks is caused by repetition. I know we are not going back to our old topic that's talking about the 1% rule. This has to do with repetition, I know. But when you repeat something, that's when it really comes like ingrained in your memory. That's you have formed a neural network. So that is how you are able to remember anything that you are doing. Your brain has a neural network, and this, when you continue to repeat something and it has a pathway in your brain, this can lead to increase in the cortical area in your brain. There are different parts of the brain, sorry, there are different parts of the brain that are used for different activities. Like now, a mathematician, his gray matter in the inferior parietal lobe is significantly bigger than normal people's own, because that's the part of the brain that is used for logical or technical work. And since he's a mathematician, it has taken years and years of practice. Has caused an increase in that particular part of the brain. A musician now, let's just say a guitarist, I think is that what it's called? Yes, a guitarist now, because his cerebellum, yes, that's what it's called. Cerebellum is the part of the brain that is used for movement. His cerebellum will be slightly bigger than a normal person's own because of the plucking of strings and the rest of them. All those muscle memory, that is why his own like part of the brain will be significantly bigger. Even a taxi driver has spatial intelligence more than any normal person, because they go through different routes, different corner roads. So that increases hippocampus. That's the part of the brain that is increased in a taxi driver. So harnessing neuroplasticity is very, very, very important at your teenage years, because that's when your brain is like fresh, that's when your brain is young. So that's when you're supposed to like harness everything. Is learnable, every single thing is learnable. Your brain has the ability, like your brain is one of the most powerful organs. I think we have heard that statement that we are only using a particular percentage of our brains, that we're not even using the whole part. So think of Albert Einstein and every single intelligent person that have come to this world, and know that okay, we are not even using up to like the maximum percent of our brains. I don't know the exact percentage, so I'm not going to talk much about that. But I'm just here to be talking about harnessing neuroplasticity. Now, what is the enemy of neuroplasticity? Brain rot. The enemy of neuroplasticity is brain rot. So what is brain rot? Brain rot is the decline in cognitive ability. I think in our learning we have three domains. You have the cognitive, the psychomotor, and the affective. The cognitive domain is used for thinking, technical skills, and different decision making. Like decisions. So brain rot is like the decline in cognitive skills, and I feel like our generation is the one that is suffering, a brain rot pandemic. Why is this so? Why is our generation suffering a brain rot pandemic? Because of this phone. Yes, that phone is the problem. The phone is the problem. When you scroll social media for a very, very long time, and you continue to stimulate your mind, and you are scrolling, you're scrolling. Sometimes you can scroll for 7 hours, you scroll tomorrow 10 hours. It's because you brain rot. Brain rot is like very, very significant in our generation. That is why the average Gen Z child, the average Gen Alpha child is not. I don't even want to say this because it's not like a statistical statement, but like we are not intelligent. We are not intelligent because even as like technology has come to help us, I feel like technology too comes with its own perks. It also affects us because we have things easy. We don't really have patience. We don't want to work because before we have to go to the library to find one single information, but now it's just at your fingertips. Nobody's stopping you from pressing your phone, but 7 hours scrolling time is unhealthy. It is unhealthy, and it's cause you brain rot because like when you continue scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling every single time, you're stimulating your brain and you are releasing what they call dopamine. So please abstain from scrolling. So to wrap this up and conclude, we are going to be recapping again. What is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to modify, change, or reorganize itself in response to external environment or external stimuli. Types of neuroplasticity. There are various types of neuroplasticity, which includes the synaptic, that has to do with forming of neural networks when you perform a particular activity. That's the most popular and well-known type of neuroplasticity. How it works: this works when you continue to repeat a particular activity. The more you repeat something, the more it becomes a habit, the more it becomes ingrained in your memory or mind. There are various benefits of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is very, very important because it helps us to remember whatever we are doing. That's how you can remember or forget or be an expert in whatever skill that you are doing. How do you apply neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is best applied when you are a teenager, and how you apply it is by constantly learning, consistently learning, doing things consistently, learning skills, learning a new language, and all. Neuroplasticity is best harnessed in your early teens because that's when your brain is still like strong, because your brain is an organ, and just the way your other organs are strong as when you are young, it's the same way your brain too is capable of any sort of plasticity when you are young. So I hope you've learned something fun and amazing about your brain's plasticity. Know that your brain is capable of change. Your brain is very, very, very able to change, and go out there and shape it. That's all for today on the Saturday series. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next Saturday. Bye.